that feeling when you're job hunting? You send out resume after resume, and it just feels like they're disappearing into a black hole. But what if I told you the very first person to read your resume probably isn't a person at all? Okay, let's get into this, because artificial intelligence is completely changing the game, from the moment you hit apply all the way to the final interview. And that really brings us to the big question we're tackling today. Is this technology your biggest competition, filtering you out before you even get a fair shot? Or could it be your greatest ally, like a secret weapon to help you land your dream job? Well, as we're about to see, the answer is yes. It's a bit of both. So first, let's talk about the competition. Before your perfectly polished resume ever lands in front of a hiring manager, it has to get past the new digital bouncer at the door. And this isn't just some theory. As recruitment expert Amy Simpson points out, AI algorithms are the first line of defense. They can chew through a mountain of applications in the time it takes you to make a cup of coffee, and trust me, they're looking for some very, very specific things. This gatekeeper actually has a name, the Applicant Tracking System, or ATS for short. And its whole job, really, is to make a recruiter's life easier by creating a short list of candidates. It does this by scanning every single application for specific keywords and qualifications that perfectly match the job description. So here's the part that you really need to get. If you don't use the precise, exact language the machine is programmed to look for, your application could get tossed in the digital trash can without a human ever even knowing you existed. It doesn't matter how qualified you are, you have to learn to speak robot just to get your foot in the door. Okay, so that sounds kind of bleak, right? But here's where the story takes a really interesting turn. If you're going up against an AI, why not get one on your side? Let's dive into how you can use this exact same technology as your own personal career co-pilot. You can literally prompt a large language model to become your own personal career coach. It can help you think big picture, figuring out your strengths, clarifying your goals, maybe even pointing out career paths you never considered. Think about it. It's like having an unbiased advisor on call 24/7. All right, enough with the high-level strategy stuff. Let's get down to brass tacks. Beyond just planning, AI can be an absolute powerhouse for automating the most painful, tedious parts of actually applying for jobs. The cover letter. We've all been there, right? Just staring at that blinking cursor on a blank page, trying to sound smart and capable. Well, this is one of those areas where AI can be a total game changer. Check out this super clever 3-step method from a BYU guide. First, instead of guessing, you ask the AI to dissect the job description and find the company's biggest pain points. What problems are they trying to solve with this hire? Then you use that insight to create a killer opening paragraph that immediately shows you get it. And finally, you tell the AI to write the rest of the letter, connecting your skills directly to solving those problems. Brilliant! And look, it is not just about getting your foot in the door with a great application. Once you land that interview, things can get even more advanced. I came across this quote from a Reddit user, and you just have to hear it. They call this a revolutionary prompt that turns the AI into your personal interview coach. Just look at what this thing can do. It reads between the lines of the job description, it predicts the questions they're going to ask you, it gives you tips on body language. It'll even run you through a practice interview and give you feedback in real time. It'll even help you plan your salary negotiation. This isn't just prep, this is like having the entire playbook for the interview process. Okay, so at this point, you're probably thinking, great, AI is the perfect ally. I'll just automate everything. But hold on a second, it's not quite that simple. Just when you think you have it all figured out, some new research pops up that shows some really surprising limits. So, this recent study came out of Sweden's KTH Royal Institute of Technology, and they put AI to a serious test. They basically built a system to automatically tailor resumes for job applications, and then compared its work against what humans wrote by hand. The results were pretty fascinating. So first, the good news for the robots. When it came to the objective, fact-based parts of a resume, describing your past job experience, the AI-generated text was actually rated as having higher quality than the human-written versions. It's fantastic at organizing that kind of structured info. But, and this is a huge but, when it came to the personal parts, like the motivational statement where you're supposed to show your passion and personality, the AI kind of fell flat. The content it generated was rated significantly lower than what people wrote. It seems it just couldn't fake that authentic human spark. The researchers also pitted a smaller, cheaper AI model against a bigger, more powerful, and way more expensive one. Now, you'd think the pricey, top-of-the-line model would do better, right? Nope. Turns out, for this specific task, there was no significant performance advantage at all. Get this. The more capable model was about 12 times more expensive to run, but for the job of tailoring a resume, that extra cost bought you almost no extra value. That tells you that for this kind of work, a cheaper, more efficient model does the job just fine. Okay, so what does all of this actually mean for you? It points to a really clear, really powerful strategy. You need to think of AI as your co-pilot, not your autopilot. The takeaway here is crystal clear. You use AI to do the heavy lifting, the boring, time-consuming stuff like optimizing for keywords and drafting your job history. But the second you need to talk about your why, your passion, your story, your personality, that's when you have to take over the controls. Your human touch is not just important, it's irreplaceable. And hey, this isn't just my opinion. This is exactly what the research found. The study itself concludes that a hybrid AI and human approach is what will almost certainly deliver the best results. In the end, it all comes full circle. The rise of these AI gatekeepers doesn't make the human element obsolete. It actually makes it more valuable than ever. Your personal brand, your unique story, your passion, your voice, that's what's going to connect with the actual human recruiter on the other side of that screen. So it's not really a question of whether AI is your rival or your ally. It's clearly both. The real question is this: how are you going to use your new AI copilot, not to replace you, but to amplify what makes you uniquely and powerfully human?